Top story tonight, 2 Carroll County girls have gone missing near the Monon High Bridge Trail in Delphi.
Where are Libby and Abby?
Hey guys, welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. But before we get into today's topic, I always like to feature a missing person poster. Today's missing person is going to be Mikella Debina. She is 15 years old. She has been missing since September 16th, so she just went missing. Today as I record this, it's actually the 17th, so that was yesterday. Her name is Mikella Debina, 15 years old. She's from Anamalu Bay, Hawaii. I'm sure I'm getting that city completely wrong. She's from Hawaii. Brown hair, freckled complexion, 5'3", 120 pounds. Mikella was last seen at around 1:30 p.m. in the area of Kamkalamu Bay near Wakalu Beach Drive, according to the victim's aunt Debina and her boyfriend were at the beach when the suspect approached them and held them at knife point. Her backpack and dress were found 20 miles away. So she has been abducted. The suspect is believed to be a local, described as about 45 to 60 years old, 5'10" with an average build. He was wearing gray shorts. So if you have any information on Mikella Debina, please contact Crime Stoppers at 808-961-8300. There is a $1,000 reward for tips leading to Mikella Debina. Again, she's out of Hawaii, and my apologies for pronouncing any of those cities' names incorrectly. Again, though, if you are in Hawaii or know anyone in Hawaii, please pass this information on to them, and please share her poster on your social media. Okay, so I'm going to be getting into the Delphi murders case on this video. What I decided to do was do at least a couple of more in-depth timeline videos just covering February 13th, 2017, and then again February 14th, 2017. And then from then on, I will start encompassing more dates and just do one video and just cover some multiple dates. Because obviously at this point, February 13th and February 14th, 2017 are our key dates of when the girls went to the bridge and ultimately when they were found deceased near the bridge. So again, this one is going to be covering February 13th, 2017. The timeline begins around 10 a.m. that morning and ends at midnight. So here we go. We're going to check out the timeline from February 13th, 2017. Okay, so this is the Delphi timeline that I came up with. And like I said, I went through, the day's events that are online, and I tried to piece them together as much as we know. And I did put approximate on most of them because we don't have any as completely accurate times on everything. So it's much easier to put approximate. That way you're kind of covering your bases on that, because a lot of them are not 100% accurate on the exact time. Okay, so this is February 13th, 2017. It starts out at 10 a.m., my timeline. There was no school for Abby and Libby due to a snow day. Abby spent the night over Libby's house, and the girls got up late. So they had spent the night together on the 12th, so the 13th, they stayed up late, so they slept in. When they woke up, Derek, Libby's dad, makes them pancakes before he heads out for work. So they got up. Her dad made them pancakes, and sounds like they had a nice girls' sleepover, and everything seemed to be, as it should be, for two 13, 14-year-old girls. I remember going back to my middle school years, you just kind of hung out with your girlfriends. If you spent the night, you stayed up late, lots of probably giggling, crazy stuff, and then you woke up late the next day and had breakfast and did whatever if you didn't have to go to school. So then we jump to 10:30 a.m. approximately. Becky Patty, Libby's grandmother, tells the girls that if they help her with filing work, she will give them spending money. Then they can go out shopping later with her. This sounds good to the girls, so they start helping with her filing. So this is how their day starts out. Once they woke up late, they had breakfast. Derek, Libby's dad, headed out. He was going to take pictures for Becky's business, and he headed out, and the girls decided to help Becky so they can make a little bit of money. I mean, who doesn't want a little bit of extra cash, especially when you're 13? And then we move along to around 12 p.m. A suspicious vehicle is spotted parked at the old abandoned CPS building. It's located on the east side of County Road 300 North, next to the Hoosier Heart Highway. And as we know, that building is no longer there, but it was there on February 13th, 2017. Then we jump to 1 p.m. approximately. The girls ask Becky if they can go out to the Monon High Bridge trail. And she said that they could, but they would have to get a ride because she was not going to take them. I'm assuming she was working. From what we understand, she was doing work at home. So Libby asked her older sister, Kelsey, if she can drive them to the trail. She hesitates, but then decides that she'll take them out there. So she said, I will take you girls there as long as you can get a ride back home. She has plans to see her boyfriend and she has to work. So Libby calls her dad, Derek, and asks him if he can pick them up if Kelsey drops them off. He agrees and tells them as soon as he was done with work, he would pick them up. There was no set time for them to be picked up. Derek would just call or text Libby to let her know he was almost at the bridge trail. It was estimated he would get to the trailhead between 3 and 3:30 p.m. So then we jump to approximately 1:30 p.m. Kelsey and the girls leave the house and head to the trail. And then about 1:38 p.m. approximately, Kelsey arrives at the trailhead with the girls and is on the phone with her boyfriend at this time. She later states that she recalls she was already on the phone with her boyfriend when they actually pulled into the parking lot of the Mears lot for the trailhead. Kelsey watches the girls head off into the trail. She doesn't notice anything unusual as she leaves the parking lot. Then we jump to 2:05 p.m. approximately. Libby posts a photo of the bridge to her Snapchat account. So she posts that first photo of the bridge to her Snapchat account. And as we know, Snapchat is the images are posted to like your story, sort of like a Facebook story, and they don't last. I think that they last anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours. It's not something that stays up permanently unless the user decides for that to be a permanent post. Okay, so that would be the page 1. Let me pull up the second page of the timeline. 2:07 p.m. approximately. Libby posts a photo of Abby walking on the bridge to her Snapchat account. So she first posts the photo of just the bridge itself, and then she posts a photo of Abby on the bridge, walking toward her. The pictures were posted directly to her story, so it was visible by any one of her friends on Snapchat. So any one of her friends that followed her on Snapchat were able to see these photos. And then we jump to an unknown time. Libby starts taking a video of a man walking toward them on the bridge. Police state that the girls were talking about stuff girls talk about in the recording, but they mention the man and how he's kind of strange. And theories speculate that the man likely pulled out a weapon of some sort to threaten the girls, maybe a gun. At some point, the man referred to as BG, later on we refer to him as Bridge Guy, he tells the girls, guys, down the hill. And I'm going to play that recording as well right here.
Guys, down the hill. Guys, down the hill. Guys, down the hill.
Then we jump to approximately 3:11 p.m. Derek tries to call Libby. He wants to let her know that he's getting close to the trailhead and for them to start heading to the parking area. He gets no answer. 3 minutes later, at around 3:14 p.m., Derek pulls into the parking lot and does not see Libby or Abby. He calls her phone again, but there is no answer. And then an unknown time, like a bit after this 3:14-ish time zone, he knows that this is not like Libby to not respond to calls or texts. He parks his car and decides to head down the trailhead to look for the girls. So at this point, it's probably around 3:15, somewhere in there. He decides to park his car and get out and start heading around the trail to look for the girls. 3:15 p.m. approximately. Derek reaches the part where the trails intersect. He stops a man dressed in a flannel shirt who is approaching his direction from the 501 trail. He asks the man, "Did you see two girls up there?" He replies that he did not, but stated there was a couple on the bridge. Since flannel shirt guy did not see the girls on the 501 trail, Derek starts walking the other trail that leads to the creek's edge. This trail is known as the 505 trail. So this is flannel shirt guy, which we refer to now as FSG. So this is the man that he's spotting as he's looking for the girls. Then we jump to about 15 minutes later, around 3:30 p.m. Derek has no luck finding the girls on the 505 trail. So he heads back up the trail to the intersection of the two trails. It is then that he calls his mother, Becky Patty. He tells her that he cannot reach or find the girls. He asks her to try calling Libby. Libby's Aunt Tara was with Becky, so she also starts to try to reach Libby by phone or text. Neither have any success. So at this point, he's arrived at the trail. See, Derek has been pulled into the trail about 3:14 p.m. So around, right around that time, and we're talking about 15, 16 minutes. He's not having any luck either reaching the girls, reaching Libby by phone, by text. He's walked the trails. He can't find them. So he's actually calling his mother and saying, "Hey, can you help me see if I can reach Libby?" Okay, and let's move on to the next page. Unknown time. From the intersection, Derek walks down the trail leading to the Freedom Bridge. He doesn't see the girls there. He turns back around and passes FSG, flannel shirt guy, on his way back to the intersection. Around 4 p.m. approximately, Derek returns to his car at the parking area. No one has been able to get a hold of the girls, and the family begins to worry. Tara heads to meet Derek at the trail while Becky stays back to make a few phone calls. Becky calls her husband, Mike, who was at work in Lafayette. She informs him of the situation. He decides to leave work and head over to the trail to help look for the girls. Continuing around 4 p.m., Becky calls Kelsey and tells her the girls are missing. Kelsey says she will call into work that she will be late and head over to the trail to help search for the girls. Around an unknown time, a little bit after 4 o'clock, Tara arrives at the parking area and Derek comes over to her car and gets inside. He explains where he has looked thus far, and they wait for Becky and Mike to arrive so they can plan out where they will search to cover the most ground. So they decide to wait so they can get all the folks together and they can do a search that's more logical and planned. Continuing in unknown time, as Becky is about to leave for the trail, Libby's uncle Cody arrives. She tells him what's going on and they head to the trail together. They discuss what path the girls might take if they were attempting to walk home. They drive the two possible paths they could have taken, but have no luck. They believe one of the girls may have gotten hurt or fallen. So at this point, Becky's assuming, I think Abby or Libby may have fallen, gotten hurt, and this is why we're not able to contact them. And it's also suspected that maybe Libby's phone had an issue or she couldn't get service. Something was going on that just, wasn't right. That wasn't good with the girls. And then we continue to an unknown time. Becky and Cody arrive at the parking area, but there are no empty parking spaces. They end up parking in a ditch nearby because several non-family member vehicles were at that trailhead lot. So, yeah, because this was a popular trail. So other people were at this trail at this point. The family, Derek, Becky, Mike, Tara, Cody, and Kelsey, meet up and head out to search the area for the girls. Okay, unknown time. Kelsey and Cody cross the Monon High Bridge and cross over to the southeast end. They can see down a hill to a private driveway. They spend about 20 to 30 minutes yelling out the girls' names, but to no avail. Kelsey attempts to call Libby's phone. She believes it went through because she can hear it ringing, but she does not hear a phone ringing in the area. So she's thinking at this point it's fairly quiet enough that she can call her phone because she's ringing. She can hear it ringing on her end. She's hoping maybe she can hear Libby's phone if she's nearby. But unfortunately, that did not work. Becky calls the cell phone company as she's searching to try to see if they can ping Libby's phone. AT&T informs her that they could not do that for legal reasons. Yeah, unfortunately, as we have learned throughout, if you follow the true crime cases and stuff, it's really hard to get permission to ping people's phone and access their phones. It's a very difficult thing to do, and especially since this is an iPhone that Libby had. Becky then inquires to AT&T about cell phone tracking apps, allowing them to track Libby's phone. Since Libby would have to have the app on her phone, it wouldn't work. Becky downloads an app and realizing that she did not realize right away that she couldn't have the app and make it work if Libby didn't have the app. So in other words, she spent some time downloading an app and it wasn't something that was worth her time at the time. 5:20 p.m. The family calls the police and Libby and Abby are officially reported missing. So this was at 5:20 where they officially made the call to the local police and they said, hey, we can't find these girls. So this is the exact time that they reported missing. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. 5:25 p.m. Sorry, that is a typo. It's p.m., not a.m. Becky has been unable to reach Abby's mom by phone. She drives to Anna's house and is told Anna is at work. Mike calls Becky, informing her that the police requested for them both to go to the police station to file a report. Becky begins driving to Anna's place of work. Anna calls her, having seen her missed calls. Becky informs her what's going on, and Anna tells her she will meet her at the police station. So this is the point when we have Libby's family already searching for the girls, and now Anna is going to meet them at the police station to also file the report and look for the girls. Unknown time. Police arrive on the scene and start the search for the girls. Some family members use Facebook and other social media to ask for help in searching for the girls. So around a little bit between 5:25 and 6 p.m., so between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, there starts to become posts on Facebook, Twitter, all over the place that family and friends are asking if anybody can help find these girls, if they know anything about them. 6 p.m., a massive search begins for the girls. Seeing the social media posts, residents show up to help in the search for the girls. Carroll County Sheriff's Department, Delphi Police Department, and Delphi Fire Department combine efforts. The fire station is used as a staging area for the volunteers. Groups head out to search the trails and surrounding areas. And we've seen photos, and I'll post them here as well, that they really did go out in massive groups, pairs, whatever they can do to search for these girls. Continuing around 6 o'clock, Kelsey goes to the police station to speak with them about what she recalls from when she dropped the girls off at the trail. She shows the police the 2 Snapchat posts Libby had put up to her account story. Unknown time. Mike returns home to gather electronic devices such as iPads, computers, and the like to help law enforcement make the request for AT&T to ping Libby's cell phone. So he's trying to get anything he can so they can reach Libby's phone. 10:29 p.m. WRTV, which is a local affiliate, posts online about the missing girls and state that the teens' phones are either dead or turned off. So they're getting news coverage, for right after dinner time into the late evening at this point. Looking for anybody to help find these girls, letting the community know that these 2 13-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls are missing in Delphi. So 12 a.m. is when the official search is called off by law enforcement due to darkness and concern for safety. Officials and volunteers plan to resume the search the next morning. Firefighters and volunteers unofficially continue to search throughout the night. So the official search is suspended till the next morning when it's more light out and they can see and it's more safe for folks. But there's still firefighters and a lot of local folks that decide that we're not giving up no matter what.
Tobe, everybody wants to know why you called off the search for Libby and Abby.
Sure. First of all, that was not a individual decision made by me, but rather we had a meeting amongst several emergency responders, which included police, fire, EMS, and also other community volunteers. And the consensus was that to make a temporary stop of that search and then restart the search early the next morning. I do want to stress that even though we formally had stopped that search, there were still people out there searching throughout the night, and we were aware of that, particularly community volunteers. and we were not in a position that we could tell everyone to stop. And basically, we made it optional. If they wanted to stop, they could, and get some rest and come back out the next morning, as many did, to start that search over or up again. And so that was not an individual decision, as many may feel, but rather a decision made by several community members and emergency responders.
Just after 12 a.m., soon after, Mike drives Becky home to get some sleep. They see many flashlights and people everywhere. Mike returns to the trail after dropping Becky off to continue searching for the girls.
Scary situation right now, and I just want her home.
All right, an update now on our top story. Those two missing girls in Carroll County. The Sheriff's Office and members of the Delphi area community continue searching for those missing girls in the Delphi area, saying now they won't stop until those 13-year-olds are found.
So that's pretty much what we know of what was going on from day one. So we had them waking up late in the morning and, having breakfast, probably, doing, teenage stuff. They helped out Becky for a bit with filing. And somewhere in there, they decided they wanted to go to the Mile and High Bridge Trail. There's been many thoughts about they got a text message. They've communicated, which we found out later, with this Anthony Shots account. What happened from the night before? Did this start on the night before when the girls had their sleepover, or did this start in the morning? There's many questions as to what made them want to go to the trail. So that's something that a lot of folks still are questioning. We did find out law enforcement told Keegan Klein later on, after his arrest for child pornography, that he was the last one to communicate with Libby. So my assumption is, my theory is, she communicated with him on that morning of the 13th on that account, or she at least communicated with the Anthony Shots account. So, at this point, I believe that account does have something to do with the girls, unfortunate, attack and fortunate killing at this point. I don't know to what extent, because we all are still, making our theories on that, but I do think that whether it was Keegan Klein, whether it was Tony Klein, somebody else that had access to that account, because we still don't know how many people had access to the Anthony Shots account. I don't know if law enforcement even knows that answer. So at some point, someone, got a hold of where they were and came out there, or they were waiting for Libby. It's been suggested that they were going after Libby and not Abby, and unfortunately Abby was just there. So, but again, that's another theory. But I'm curious to what you guys think about, day one. And obviously we're thinking about what we know now. But this video is just talking about February 13th, just so we can kind of go back and think what happened on that first day. And obviously the night before, we can include that as well, when they had the sleepover. What happened on that day off, that snow day, that was different, besides the fact they were off from school? What happened on that day that they went to that trail, and obviously, the horrible thing happened to them? So what happened? I really do believe the Anthony Shots account has some kind of tie to that situation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments of it, and I'm going to continue covering. I'll cover the 14th, the next day, obviously, when they were located, when the search resumed in the morning, and they were located not long after that. But let me know what you think looking back at the first day. See if anything kind of stands out to you now, and you're like, maybe there's something totally different. See if we can, go back to the beginning and just kind of look at it with fresh eyes, sort of thing. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And on your way out, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you would. And hit the notification bell for all alerts. That way you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. That's going to be it, guys. Thanks so much, and stay safe.